Hello guys, welcome to another drawing video. For this week I thought it would be nice to just draw something, and since there is a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I felt inspired to draw Captain Jack Sparrow. And since I've already drawn Jack Sparrow once before, this will be like a draw this again kind of video. I thought it would be fun to compare and see how much I've improved in 6 years, since this old one is made in 2011. I remember I was super proud of this one, and it is one of the first portraits that I made that I was actually very happy with, and I still love it. I chose a red color for the sketch since it will blend better with the warmer skin tones, sketching with a regular lead pencil and then color over that with markers may turn the colors a little dirty or muddy. Lead pencils sometimes tend to smudge a little with markers, I notice. So I'm using Copic markers as a base, and then later I will use color pencils for the finer details and such, and that is a technique I really like using for portraits, for example, since I think it's easier to add textures with color pencils. It makes the skin look more organic. I think markers sometimes can look a little too smooth and perfect, if you know what I mean. And if you're curious about what color tones I used for the skin, I will list all the ones that I can remember down in the description box below. So I'm not gonna talk about all the steps in this drawing process, but if you want a tutorial on how I am coloring skin and hair and such, or just coloring in general, I am planning to do full tutorials that will cover all these areas. So if you have any questions or requests what to add to a marker coloring tutorial, please let me know in the comments below. I think it would be super fun doing more tutorials and sharing more drawing tips and tricks with you guys. Also, this drawing took me more than 7 hours to complete, which is pretty long to be me, but I really wanted to challenge myself, and I definitely tested my own patience with this one. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of layering here, and that is basically what made it take so long to finish this piece. Rather than just placing one color directly in one area, I'm building up the colors and the layers and the contrast and the depth. My goal isn't to create perfect realism. I am not interested in that. My style is more sketchy, and that is how I like it to be. I recently switched from Pro markers to Copics, and Copics and their brush nibs are heavenly to draw skin with, or drawing anything at all really. I had no trouble using Pro markers before with their bullet nibs, but they are quite clumsy in comparison. I noticed that when I've used Copics a lot, and then I tried a Pro marker for the bandana on his head, and yeah, it doesn't feel that great anymore. They are still great markers though. I just prefer the brush nibs since you can get these very light feathery looking strokes, and it is easier to control the saturation of a color. Copics also have a lot more skin tones to choose from. Since I have a little bit of time to kill here in this video, because it is pretty long, I might as well talk about some stuff that's been going on lately. And one of those things is that we recently hit 200,000 subscribers on this channel. That is amazing. That is something I've been waiting for a long time, and now it finally happened, and I'm so happy about it. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you all for following me and my work. I am so honored that you are here and watching and supporting what I'm doing. So thank you all. I wouldn't be here without you, and I truly appreciate every single one of you. And another thing I've been meaning to talk about for a while is what plans I made for this channel. As you may remember, I talked about that I felt stressed about making videos and that my channel isn't growing and so on, and about feeling discouraged. So I took a little break to rest and rethink this whole situation, and one of the things I decided was to be more relaxed with the video uploading schedule. Earlier I had to make at least one video every week. I even made 2 videos sometimes, which could be very stressful for me, and I felt really bad and guilty if I didn't post a video that week. So I will of course continue making videos, that's been my goal for this whole time, but there may not be a regular schedule, and honestly there never been a schedule really. So I'm posting at Sundays at the moment, but that might change over time, and if there would be a week with no videos at all and you guys misses me, I have hundreds of other videos that you can watch instead until I post a new video. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm still here and I'm trying my very best to produce good content for you, because that is what I love doing. So back to the drawing. I have no idea how far I've gotten into the artwork at this point in the video, since I will probably edit it some more after I'm done with this voiceover. I will cut out some parts that is more time consuming and not as exciting to watch, like all these dreads. Gosh, I had so much fun drawing these, but those dreads nearly killed me and my hand, especially when adding all these details with the color pencils. I know that 7 hours may not be that much time for some artists, but it is to me, and even if I love working on a specific art piece, I cannot wait to have it done. It is so satisfying seeing the final result, but I really try to just enjoy the actual drawing process and take my time with it and not rush just because I have to edit the video and so on, and I think that really shows in the final end result. What I think is fun and also sometimes very important with redrawing old artwork is that you can see the progress that you made through the years or months or weeks or even days. Sometimes it's easy to feel like you're stuck and not making any progress at all. Trust me, been there, done that, which can be very discouraging. But if you are working on becoming better and practicing and drawing, you should make some sort of progress. It may not always be super noticeable. I think it depends on how much time there is between the drawings that you are comparing and what stuff that you've been practicing on. But I can notice progress only by redrawing something that I just recently made. It can just be some little detail that I make a little better next time. Those small things are also called progress. I can really tell by comparing these two Jack Sparrow portraits that I learned a little more about colors and coloring, and that I become more generous and confident with contrast. I also drew all the portraits back then super big so that the whole face covered the whole paper, which I afterward think made it a little harder to have some sort of control and good overview over the drawing and the portrait. And I think I become better at doing details. I mentioned before that I tested my own patience with this new version because I tend to get a little lazy sometimes and rush through some parts, which I think shows a little in the old version. So it will be fun doing this again in 6 years or so and see how much the art styles and skill has improved or changed. So the Jack Sparrow portrait that I made in 2011, the one you saw in the beginning, was completely made in color pencils, the Faber-Castell Polychromos one, same that I'm using here. And when I started making portraits, I only used color pencils because that was the art medium that I felt most comfortable with at that point. But what always bothered me was that I could never achieve these rich and deep color tones, and it was probably not the color pencil's fault. I was still learning and practicing, and I haven't learned all the techniques yet, and I didn't have all the color tones and such. So that is why I like combining markers and color pencils, since you can lay down a rich and vibrant layer of markers first and then add even deeper colors and textures and details with the pencils. And I think it is so much fun adding details and highlights with color pencils, and it is when I'm starting adding the pencil that the drawing really comes to life. So another thing I like to check with you guys is what kind of video commentary do you prefer? Do you prefer when I'm only talking about the actual artwork and the drawing process and all the steps? Or do you like it better when I'm talking about other stuff too? I know it can get quite repetitive when talking about the artwork, especially if you're doing similar stuff in many videos and you're ending up repeating yourself. Personally, when I watches other artists' videos, I think it's fun hearing their thoughts about other stuff too, or things related to the artwork, but not necessarily the artwork itself, if that makes any sense. So what did I learn from making this artwork? Because it can be good to reflect a little about what you learned sometimes. I think that one thing that I will take from this experience is that when I really take my time and focus on the actual artwork and the drawing process and not rushing myself, I can produce stuff that I feel proud of. I am so happy with how this turned out, and it is so worth the time and effort. I hope you like it too and that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any requests or ideas for a marker coloring tutorial, if that is of any interest. I also want to say that seeing the old and the new versions besides each other makes me so proud of myself, of how far I've come. And yes, it is okay to pat yourself on the back sometimes. You should give yourself credit for all the hard work that you've done. So that is all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Keep drawing my happy cats. Bye!